Firstly, we have to see Job the man. We have to see the person. And what Job was as a person was mentioned by God himself. Job, firstly, he's perfect. This is really hard to explain. What is to be perfect? To be perfect is just to be perfect. Okay. Then upright. I would say to be perfect is something relating our inner man. And to be upright is something relating to our outer man. Within, we have to be perfect. To be perfect with God and with man. You must be such a person from within. Then, outwardly, you have to behave yourself up and right. This is upright. Then what? Then he feared God and turned away from evil. Fear God and turn away from evil. Very good. But sorry to say, this is too bad. It's not very good, but too bad. Too bad, here's a man fearing God positively and turning away from evil negatively, right? Negatively speaking, he would not do any evil. And positively speaking, he would fear God. Yet, even with the passive aspect, there's no positive thing. What is positive? What is positive to Job? Think about it. Just fear God. Right? Then it's better to be a kind of a marble statue. All the time, I fear God, not doing anything wrong. What is this? This is nothing. So, you can see even here, the description of the person of Job is not that complete. God didn't create a person just to fear him without doing anything wrong. What is this? This is nothing. This is zero. Right? But the Bible tells us God created man in his image and after his likeness. To what? To express him. This is positive. And this is positive among positives. This is above fearing God, above turning away from evil. Job was okay, generally speaking, in the eyes of man. But in the eyes of God, Job was short of him. Job was so short of God. So for this purpose, God was very much concerned, lovingly, about Job. So even for Job's need, God held a council. Could you believe? If this is not recorded in the Bible, I cannot dream that the Almighty God would have a conference, a council held in the heavens to talk about Job. Do you believe that Satan was invited? Or do you believe that Satan was notified? He has received a kind of notification, circular letter, telling him, "Hi, Satan, I'm going to have a council with my angels. Please come to join us." I don't believe God did that, but he came. Came without invitation, not being invited. He came. Actually, Satan always invites himself. No one would invite him. Would you invite Satan? I don't like to invite him, and I would not. But without being invited, he came to me quite often. Sometimes I close the door. I said, no, I don't want you. He still tries to get in. You may say, why? Well, God is sovereign. God is wise. Yes, in Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28, Satan was condemned by God. Satan was even sentenced by God. Yet God was wise and God was sovereign. He would not execute his judgment over Satan. He would still give Satan a certain limited time to behave himself, that he could do something to fulfill some negative need, to meet some negative need in the fulfillment of God's eternal economy. I tell you, without Satan the devil, how could God ask his many angels, so excellent, so nice, to do the things to damage Job to that extent? You think God would do that? Or God could do that? God could not do that. Then what? Then there is a gap, right? A gap of the need. There is the need of someone to do the ugly job, to damage Job, not to judge, not to punish, not to rule over Job, but just to damage Job, to strip Job of his everything, to meet the need. So, for God dealing with Job, there was a need of Satan. You think about it. Was there not a need? I do believe even the angels meeting with God in that council in heavens were not clear about the situation. So it was very good that this uninvited one came in on his own invitation. He came in. God was happy. Don't you believe? From where you have come. You see God's intention? From where you have come. He said, from roofing others and going about. I have nothing positive to do. Just roofing others and going about with nothing to do. Then God proposed to him to do something. God said, Satan, have you considered my servant Job? Then God made a recommendation. Job, my servant, is perfect, is upright, fearing God, turning away from evil. Is there anyone else on the earth like him? There's none. God boasted to Satan. If you read carefully, you could see God's boasting talk was with an intention that Satan could do something for God. This was what? This was the council held in heavens, which the council decided that an ugly angel, Satan, would go to damage a lover of God. Such a council, with such a council made, and Satan took it. Would you be such a one or not? I surely would say I would not be, but Satan would.